What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Pitching Ninja's Filthiest Pitches of the Day. I am Pitching Ninja, and I am here with Will Leahey. What's happening, Will?
Ninja, hanging out, man. I was wondering, what did you think of Aaron Judge's volleyball spike yesterday to break up this play and essentially win the Yankees the game after the umps just decided it was legal, and the Yankees scored 6 runs and blew them out after this.
Dude, it totally should be legal. Let's just make it into baseball, volleyball. What would we call that?
It's a sequel to basketball.
Yeah, I mean, that should be allowed if you're willing to. No, come on. What are we doing here?
I love how big his mitt is. It looks absurd. It's just like, if it was barehanded, that's one thing, but he's got this massive thing that just swats it down.
I think we can have guys running around and like they're going to wear sumo suits. That's what this game is evolving to. Well, I'm going to start my whip around the league. We'll start out with Bryce Elder, who had 2 Ks in 5 1/3 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had this changeup, picked up a White Castle special. He faced Ben Lively, who had 5 Ks in 4 1/3 innings, giving up 1 run. He had these lively fastballs.
There he is.
And this curveball. Also, you've got to learn your lesson. Never argue with home plate umpire Jim Wolf. Number 1, the man is absolutely jacked. This dude is the biggest, not the tallest. Jordan Baker's the tallest, but the biggest umpire in baseball. You do not want to mess with this dude. And number 2, he kind of holds a grudge, as you see in this sequence here. Kelnick found out the hard way.
You got to love a jacked ump.
I know. It's like Ed Hockley back in the day with the NFL.
We love to see it.
It's like the Tyler O'Neill of umpires.
Yep, the Irish-Canadian Greek god. This is taking a real turn. No Diddy, by the way, guys, but back to baseball. Enough men's bodies.
Paul Blackburn had 5 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 6 runs, and had this fastball, cutter, and curveball. He faced Albert Suarez, who had 6 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 4 runs, and had these fastballs and changeup. Michael Grove had 3 Ks in 2 innings, giving up 3 runs as the opener yesterday. He had this painted slider, and I love this home plate view of this slider that picks up the sword. You know, Grove may not be the nastiest pitcher in baseball, but this pitch looks pretty darn nasty. Let me know how you'd fare against Michael Grove's slider in the comments. He faced Kevin Gausman, who had 5 Ks in 7 innings, giving up 1 run. He had these fastballs, including this cheese at the knees, as well as his usual filthy splitters. Tarik Skubal had 6 Ks in 7 innings, giving up 1 run. He had these heaters up to 99 miles an hour, and I love the head nod on this 99-mile-an-hour fastball. He's like, man, I am feeling it today. And then he put on a changeup clinic. Skubal has one of the best changeups in baseball, and man, when he's on, stuff is filthy. Will, what is Tarik Skubal's ERA?
Ninja, we're clocking it at 1.72 right now. Not too shabby.
Do we consider him a Cy Young contender?
Skubal is actually tied with Corbin Burns in first place for American League Cy Young, according to FanDuel, at plus 340. Next is Pablo Lopez at plus 1,500. So it looks like it's a two-headed race here, Ninja.
Skubal faced Michael Wacha, who had 3 Ks in 5 2/3 innings, giving up 4 runs, and had these Waka-Flocka changes. Lance Lynn had 3 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 1 run, and had these fastballs. He faced Jose Quintana, who had 3 Ks in 8 innings, giving up 1 run, and had this elevated fastball. Patrick Corbin had 4 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 7 runs, 4 of them earned, and had this cutter. He faced Ryan Weathers, who had 3 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 6 runs, and had these nasty changeups. Marcus Stroman had 4 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 4 runs. He had this sinker, this slider, and this beautifully painted cutter. He faced Tobias Myers, who had 5 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 4 runs. Myers started this game strong and looked really good. He had this fastball, changeup, and this beautiful backdoor painted cutter, but ended up giving up 4 runs. Zach Littell had 6 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 2 runs, and had this splitter and slider. He faced Eric Fetty,
the Trap King.
He was freaking outstanding yesterday. Yeah, baby, 1738. Yeah. He had 9 Ks in 8 1/3 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had these sinkers, these sweepers, these cutters. One of them clocking in at 1738 on the RPM meter. No, it didn't. I lied. That's just a Fetty Wap reference. Michael King had 6 Ks in 5 1/3 innings, giving up 6 runs. He had these 2-seamers and changeup. He faced Ty Walker, who had 4 Ks in 6 1/3 innings, giving up 6 runs. and these fastballs, including this painted fastball and this cutter. Framber Valdez had 6 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had these curveballs and dirty sliders. He faced Austin Gomber, who had 2 Ks in 7 innings, giving up 4 runs, and had this curveball. Keaton Wynn had 5 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 1 run on 3 hits. And this fastball, his slider, and I love his splitters. They are filthy. He faced Jared Jones, who had a poor outing, his first bad outing in the major leagues. He had 3 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 3 runs, and got Ks on these changeups. But his fastball wasn't its normal overpowering self. I think he was having some problems with the mound at some point and probably struggled in part due to that. But you know what? Baseball's hard at this level, and you're going to have these outings. Pablo Lopez had 8 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 4 runs. He had his fastball, sweeper, curveballs, picking up a sword, and these changeups. He faced Reed Detmers, who had 3 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 5 runs, and this fastball and slider. I'll be interviewing Reed Detmers tomorrow. Dane Dunning Dane Dunning sounds like a comic book character, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's a little Potter-esque.
Yeah, or he could be like somebody's alter ego and he turns into the Ice King or something. Like he's some kind of thing he turns
green
into.
Snake or something.
Yeah, the Green Snake, Dane Dunning. His alter ego is Dane Dunning, but when he gets pissed off, he turns into the Green Snake. And Dane Dunning must have been pissed off because this was superhero Dane Dunning yesterday. He had 10 Ks in 5 1/3 innings, giving up 1 earned run, giving up 3 hits, and no walks. He had these sinkers, sliders, knuckle curves, cutters, and changeups. The whole shebang he threw at him. Brandon Pfaadt was great yesterday with 11 strikeouts in 6 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had these fastballs, including this painted fastball, these sweepers with up to 19 inches of break. He picked up 9 swings and misses on his sweepers. He faced Logan Gilbert, who had 9 Ks in 6 1/3 innings, giving up 2 runs on 4 hits and 1 walk. Gilbert had these fastballs, cutters, and nasty sliders, and he had this face that is the stuff nightmares are made of. Can't tell what he's doing here. Some people said he's yawning, certainly doesn't have his eyes open the whole time, and he does have plus command despite not having his eyes open. But this is a freaking nightmare. This is the last thing you see before you K. Hayden Wesneski had 3 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 1 earned run. He had these fastballs that picked up a sword on his fastball and also had this barrel-locking sweeper. And he faced yesterday's filthiest starting pitcher of the day, the incredible Tanner Houck. Tanner Houck had 9 Ks in 6 2/3 innings, giving up 1 run on 4 hits and no walks. He had these sinkers, picked up a sword on this one, getting me a shout out from David Cohn last night.
There he is.
Pitching Ninja would say, yes, indeed, that is kind of a sword.
He had these splitters, including this Expelliarmus splitter, and then a whole slew of sliders. His sliders were absolutely disgusting. Look at this one that had 21 inches of horizontal break. I put a tail on it, and this thing is ridiculous. And here's an overlay of his sinker and slider. And you can see how far apart these two things are and why you'd freeze on that slider, because you're like, this might hit me, and there's no way it's going to get to the plate, but yet it does. Will, what do you think about Tanner Houck?
I'm obsessed with this guy, Ninja. Rocking the 1.6 ERA, I think it is still, striking everybody out. A Cy Young candidate at this point, and I especially loved his Expelliarmus. The batter shamefully throws his bat into the stands. It went over the net. Just a good time for everyone. Almost hit the beer guy, and that's what Tanner Houck will do to you. Make you look like an absolute asshole.
Now onto my filthiest relievers. Keegan Aiken had this slider. Brian Abreu had these nasty sliders. Aaron Bummer had this 2-time zone sweeper. Cue the trumpets. Edwin Diaz had these sliders. Lucas Ursig had this gas and slider. I was so hoping Mason Miller would come in, but we still got Lucas Ursig, who was freaking filthy. Jason Foley had this slider and sinker. Kyle Nicholas had this 99-mile-an-hour fastball. And look at this from the home plate view. That thing gets on you pretty quick. David Robertson had this cutter and this gross knuckle curve. And look at the home plate view on this cutter. That thing is freaking filthy. Nick Sandlin had this splitter. Zach Kristofak had this fastball and changeup. And he's one of the shortest pitchers in the major leagues at 5'9". He just got called up. But the bigger thing is check out his story, do some research, because his story will absolutely blow your mind. I know it pretty well because he grew up in Georgia and we played in tournaments with him. But dude's dad murdered his mom. And he wants to be an example for everybody for overcoming stuff like this. Just an inspirational character. Everybody should be a Zach Kristofak fan. My top 5 pitches of the day. At number 5, it's not a pitch. It's Logan Gilbert's face. This is the face that launched 1,000 filthy pitches. At number 4, we have Jose Alvarado with this jump back two-seamer. That's filthy. He also had this cutter. At number 3, Brandon Pfaadt's sweepers. At number 2, Tarik Skubal and his 99-mile-an-hour fastball with that head nod. Love myself a confident Skubal. And at number 1, it's Tanner Houck and this slider that broke 21 inches back to the plate. That's disgusting. And now, my pitching ninja moment of Zen. I don't know what this dude is doing. He appears to be on acid playing a balloon guitar. And he came to see the Purple Dragons versus the Glowing Dandelions. My picks of the day today are a 3-leg parlay. I'm going to start out with Grayson Rodriguez for 6 Ks or more. Then take Garrett Crochet for 6 Ks or more, and top it off with Bryce Miller for 5 Ks or more. What would your picks of the day be?